Hello, friends! We have come to the last part of our series. As we know, we told about my father's adventures in 5 episodes. In this last series, we will tell you my grandfather's last secret. Another morning, my father opened his eyes at the first light of the day and got up and got ready. They set the table for breakfast and had their breakfast with my grandfather. When my father asked my grandfather if the secrets were over, my grandfather told my father, "My son said, we have one last adventure left. Let's go together." My father was very happy that they would have adventures together. My grandfather went to his room and brought a pyramid miniature with him. He said to my father, "Son, this miniature is the key to our last adventure." My father said to my grandfather, "I'm ready. Father, we can go now." My grandfather took my father's hand and turned the miniature. Suddenly, a cluster of white light appeared, and together they were teleported to a forest near the Egyptian pyramids. Since they didn't take anything with them, they had to walk around first. They began to wander around to explore. First they had to find a shelter to stay in forest. My grandfather immediately built a shelter around the trees and they slept there to spend the night. They woke up with the first light of the morning and they looked for something to eat because they were hungry. They saw red fruit on a beautiful tree and began to eat it. It tastes very good. After they were fed, they started walking. After passing through the forests, they came to the desert. They forgot that they had to take water with them because it was so hot in the desert. They immediately went back to look for water. After a long walk, they finally found a river. Here, they put water in the bottle with them and come back again. They are back in the desert. While walking in the desert, the wind started to blow. To protect themselves from the desert storm, they immediately dug and went under the ground. They waited for the storm to pass. When the storm subsided, they started walking again. They were constantly sweating from the heat and they were losing water. For this, they had to drink water constantly. They were constantly seeing desert scorpion and desert snake around and they continued walking in their path without interfering with them. At night it was very cold and again they entered a cave by a hill for protection. They slept and waited for morning to come. They woke up again in the morning and started walking on the road. Now their water was about to run out and they saw a hill in front of them. My grandfather was very happy and said to my father, "I think we have caught up." They continued to advance. My father was about to run out of strength and fell to the ground. My grandfather took my father in his arms, albeit by force, and continued on his way. And finally, they reached the pyramids. They drank some of their remaining water to climb to the top of the pyramid. My father was having a hard time. My grandfather was always trying to motivate him. All of a sudden, they heard a very loud sound and realized that the pyramid was starting to sink down. My grandfather started to speed up. My father also accelerated, and they finally caught up with the pyramid miniature at the top of the pyramids. They held the miniature together and turned it to the right. They ended this beautiful adventure by teleporting back to their homes in an instant. My grandfather told my father how proud he was and stated that he had now completed his mission. Friends, you can reach the other parts of this beautiful series from the screen at the end of the video. See you in another series. Take care of yourselves. Goodbye.